I'd like to call the Planning Development Committee to order, please. Call roll.
Councilor Walker,
Here.
Councilor Spiteri,
He's excused.
Councilor Plunkett.
Here. We'll go. Approve minutes for the July 7th, 2025, please. Motion, Mr. Plunkett, and motion, second, myself.
Councilor Walker,
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
We'll go right on to new business under authorization. The zoning and planning office requests that the proposed zone change on the property known as 29 West Second, or Seneca Street, for the purpose of the zone change from a TN1, traditional neighborhood 1, to a TD, traditional downtown, to be forwarded to the planning board in advisory opinion pursuant to section 280-94 for the zoning ordinance.
So this is the start of the process for zone change. Anybody that's not familiar with that property, it's on what would be the northwest corner of the intersection across from the karate studio and the dentist's office. Previously, before the 2019 zone change, it was zoned business. Like the other three corners are traditional downtown. They're all business in that area. Somehow that piece of property got missed. It was McDonough McCormick Wright Insurance, and then most recently it was the Humane Society. It's vacant right now, but the fact that it's zoned as traditional neighborhood 1 really doesn't allow it to be rented out as a commercial space that it's always been. So that's the reason for the ask for the zone change.
Very good, thank you for the clarification. Any questions? Could I get a motion? Councilor Plunkett and myself, please.
Councilor Walker,
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
That being it, I'll have a motion to close the meeting. Councilor Plunkett, myself.
Councilor Walker,
Yes,
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
thank you.
This time, I'd like to open the Physical Service Committee meeting for November 17th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Councilor Burge, Councilor Vanucci,
He's excused.
Councilor Walker,
Here,
Councilor Gozick.
Here.
I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 3rd, 2025 committee meeting. Councilor Walker, Councilor Gozick.
Councilor Burge,
Yes.
Councilor Vanucci, I'm just kidding. Councilor Walker,
yes.
Councilor Gozick.
Yes.
See no old business, we'll move on to new business. Number 1, the Zoning and Planning Office has received a request for use of public space from Miss Anna Bryan, owner of a single-family dwelling located at 132 West Schuyler Street, to install a less than 4-foot fence between the sidewalk and the property line.
So if you take a look at the included survey, the homeowner is looking to do a small fenced-in area which runs from the property line out to just short of the city sidewalk in public space, less than 4 foot.
Do we have any questions? Can I accept the motion, please? Councilor Walker, Councilor Gozick.
Councilor Burge,
Yes.
Councilor Walker,
Yes,
Councilor Gozick.
Yes.
Number 2, the Zoning and Planning Office requests that the Common Council revoke Mr. Anthony Schmidt's approval for use of public space at 65 East Oneida Street for a temporary ramp and authorize the Code Enforcement Office to remove the ramp with removal cost to be charged to Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an unfortunate request that I present tonight. Mr. Schmidt built a ramp for a member of his family that needs it to go in and out of the home. When it was built after the fact, the code office paid him a visit and pointed out the fact that the ramp is actually in public space. In fact, a portion of it, a small portion, but a portion of it interferes with the sidewalk. So it's a trip hazard to anyone that's passing by when the ramp is down. In fairness, the ramp is portable, it kind of folds up and it stays on the porch for the most part, but when it's fully extended, it not only extends into public space, it extends into the sidewalk and is a trip hazard. He applied for use of public space. It was granted. This council did approve that. The conditions were, like everyone else that applies for public space, you sign a waiver, and in this case, because he had to go through the planning process, you pay a fee of $75. Mr. Schmidt vehemently opposes both of those requirements. I asked him, the code office asked him, I know Mr. McGann and Mr. Cleary personally spoke to him, and instead of complying, he's kind of doubled down, and now he's going after employees, posting things on social media. It just kind of unhinged, frankly. I will read you one passage that is appropriate for this audience and anyone watching on YouTube. In response to several attempts to get him to comply and his pushback, he writes, "I will keep digging and spreading the word of your crew's crookedness. I will continue to look for more lawyers interested in finding out what exactly is your motivation to screw the community." That's the most polite thing I can read that Mr. Schmidt has written back to me or posted online. We are not treating Mr. Schmidt or his family any differently than anyone else in the city that applies for use of public space. It's very simple what he has to do. He's just choosing not to do it. I am asking this council, and it's an unfortunate ask, but I'm asking you to consider revoking use of public space. If he does not comply, then that revocation will set in motion enforcement proceedings that could result in the removal of that ramp. I really don't want that to happen, but it's really in Mr. Schmidt's hands and control if this council votes to revoke the use of public space. I'm happy to answer any questions. I know Mr. McGann and Mr. Cleary are here and have had some dealings with him as well, but that is the ask and the recommendation this evening. Counselor.
So basically, you're saying he did not pay his fees for the zoning board, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How can we go on his property, on his porch, and take something off that?
Well, we can if we're authorized to do it. You'd have to authorize the revocation of public space, and then I'll go and seek a court order and have it removed.
Okay, I was just.
So if we allow that, Counselor, let me push back a little bit. If we allow Mr. Schmidt to do this, and thumb his nose at our regulations, what prevents anyone else in this city from saying, hey, the council let Schmidt do it, I can do it too?
I'm just asking a question, if you got to give a court order.
The other precedent that I would point out is on East 4th and Utica Street, and we were involved in a big lawsuit.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember, but we effectively won that lawsuit. The judge dismissed that lawsuit against the city of Oswego. And in that case, there were items in public space, and the city went on public space and removed it, and then the lawsuit ensued. We won that lawsuit. The court said that the city was entitled to do what it did.
I'd like to make a comment on this also. I've dealt with Mr. Schmidt myself on numerous occasions. We've went up there, put in drains for him. He was having some flooding issues, and he blamed the city when they actually applied for a permit to put a driveway into their house many, many years ago, which caused flooding in their backyard. Yet he continues to blame us for it when they actually put in the permit to get it. If I'm not mistaken, the front porch actually is probably on public property also.
Here's the truth about public space. Virtually every structure, porch, front yard, gardens, and some portions of houses are in the public space in the city of Oswego, particularly in the older neighborhoods. It's just the way that the city was laid out. Everyone has the mistaken belief that it's their property. They get to maintain it, they're required to maintain it, but a portion of virtually everyone's property, particularly in the original neighborhoods, is in public space. This property is no exception.
don't see any more questions. Thank you, Mr.
I
Carrico.
did invite Mr. Schmidt to this meeting. I don't know if he's here. I'd like to give him an opportunity to speak if he's here. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, I'd like to take a motion. Council Gozick, Council Walker.
Council Burridge,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Gozick.
Yes.
Number 3, the city clerk's office has received a request for use of public space from Jackie Wallace of the Zonta Club of Oswego in order to place 40 18 by 24 yard signs in various city locations to promote their 16 days of activism campaign. Does anybody here like to speak on that? This time, can I have a motion? Councilor Gozick, Councilor Walker.
Council Burridge,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Gozick.
Yes.
This time I'll take a motion to close the meeting. Council Walker, Council Gozick.
Council Burridge,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Gozick.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to call to order the Administrative Services Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Plunkett,
Here.
Council Burridge,
Here.
Council Scuteri,
He's excused.
Council Vanucci,
He's excused.
Council Walton.
Here. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting from November 3rd, 2025? Councilor Walton, Councilor Burridge.
Council Plunkett,
Yes.
Council Burridge,
Yes.
Council Walton.
Yes. Is there any old business? Let's move on to new business. Item 1 under authorization, Police Chief Philip Cady requests authorization for the mayor to execute any and all documents to effectuate the construction of the new police station. Chief Cady?
Thank you. Good evening, councilors. When Mayor Barlow appointed me as chief, one of the topics we discussed was ways to help enhance police service in the city. One of the topics was the condition of the current police station. We then embarked on a years-long project that includes Mayor Cordino, and it brings me here tonight. As you all know, this police station is housed in the Conway Municipal Building. The Conway Building is a historic building that was built in the mid-1800s. The department moved into the current offices in the early 1990s. At that time, there were no computers, no computer servers, no safe act where we have to store storage of guns, and there were only 2 female officers. Some of the conditions the men and women of the police department are working in include regular sewer backups in the basement, which includes the locker room area, mold growing inside of lockers in the locker room, insufficient locker room space. We now have 9 female officers, and some of them are using lockers that were meant to be filing cabinets. We have an evidence room that's busting at the seams and has been reconfigured several times using space that wasn't intended for storage. There's also no ventilation in the evidence room, and as a result, those working inside of it breathe in chemicals and other harmful toxins without filtration. Our evidence room has also been the subject of a fire that occurred because of aging wiring and several instances of water damage due to old piping. We have records that are stored in 3 different locations, 2 of which are off-site. We have a single point of entrance where at times we have to bring defendants into the station in front of the victims of the crime that was just perpetrated. 3 out of the 4 current holding cells are located in the basement of this, which means limited access in an emergency of creating a serious liability. I could go on longer, but I know all of you know the issues at hand. As part of this project, a study was completed on updating the current building that's approaching 170 years old. The study showed that the likely cost at the time, and this was almost 3 years ago, would be $8 million to update it, and still wouldn't solve the issue at hand. We don't have any space. At that point, I was asked to look into a new building design. As you all know, there have been several changes to the design. This has been through 2 mayors and 2 different councils. I'm here today with a plan that Mayor Cordino believes is the best plan moving forward. That's a phased plan. That plan would mean next year there will be demolition on the site and site prep, and then the eventual construction of the police station. The community room that you see in the plan is several years from construction. We'll put this whole entire project out to bid, and the items you see before you, some of them are considered were bid alternatives. Once we have a better idea of construction costs, the city may be able to move forward with some of those items. or not at all. We have secured $2 million in federal funding and will help to offset and will continue to search for more grant funding as we move forward. Bonding payments likely won't occur until 2027 at the earliest. The time frame will give the mayor some leeway for future budget planning. Putting this project off any further would mean significant added costs as the prices of construction materials and labor are only increasing. So with that, I would like to open it up to questions from the council committee. I think you all know the situation we're in. It's becoming untenable inside the building, and we need to move forward with this project.
Anyone have any questions for the chief? Counselor Walton?
So I'll start by saying thank you, Chief. I know you fielded quite a few questions from all of us throughout the past few days. But just for some public record and some clarification, I will say I completely agree. I think we all do that the police station, we need something new, we need something better for all of our uniformed officers. Looking at going forward, obviously, we're in a transition period here with the council. So with yourself and what will be moving forward, I want to make it clear as well that the new council coming in will have kind of full authority when it comes to bids and changing anything that might need to be changed. We've gone through it ourselves. A lot of people don't know, but the past year or so talking about this and, having these plans, taking off some of these aspects that are kind of the add-ons that we've talked about as we've tried to navigate this as well. It's something that's definitely, again, needs to be done in the community. And I for sure especially want to see that phase 1 get in motion and clear that site out that we've now had for, 3 years now or so. But I just want to make that clear, correct?
Yeah, no, and I think this will get us to the bidding process, and, worst case scenario, we may get there and it's, way too expensive and we have to kind of circle back and figure out a different plan, but I definitely understand that.
Additionally, I know you and I spoke, and it's kind of a point of clarification as well, is I know we've had a lot of groups come to the Common Council meetings recently discussing different points of access when we have code blues and everything like that in town. Being that the police station is a haven for when we have those code blues, being able to have a bigger lobby space, have a bigger space there will help create more effectiveness when it comes to those days as well.
Correct, and eventually, if there is a community center space, that will give even more room for that.
Perfect. And when you're looking at the next phase, the first phase, there to bid and demo, what is your timeline on that you kind of hoping to land on?
Hopefully in the spring. It's just going to depend on, currently that site is being used as the laydown area for Reifenberg Construction for the West First Street project. So once they're off of that, we can move towards the bidding for tearing down the building and hopefully, like I said, in the spring or summertime.
Okay. Thank you.
Counselor Golzak?
Yeah, I just had one question about, I agree 100% with Councilor Walton as far as the need for a new facility, obviously. But I was just wondering about more funding, any more grant funding coming together?
We're continually working the phones. A lot of it's New York State. There's not a lot of building funding for police. There's a lot for fire stations for some reason, but there's not a lot for police stations. So we're going to continue to look for funding. And, on that note, the long-term plan is if this project is successful when we move out, there are city offices that the city currently rents space for, whether it's HUD, community development, the tourism center. There's plenty of office space what we would be moving out of in the Conway building to be used, and there'll be a lot less pressure on that building. There'll be a lot less people in there compared to the 50 some odd people that are working in there now.
Any other questions? Anyone? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Katie. Item 2 under authorization, Purchasing agent Mike Riley requests authorization for the mayor to sign any and all documents relating to New York CERTA request for proposals process for the sale of renewable energy credits and energy generation from the High Dam Hydroelectric Facility, and further authorize the city chamberlain to complete a transfer of funds the amount of $20,000 from the contingent account to the High Dam Contracted Services account for the non-refundable bid fee. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on this?
Good evening, councilors.
Mayor?
As the council knows, it's been a long road and a lot of time invested and also resources and money invested in the High Dam. I don't have to tell you, most of you have taken the tour that I've offered for the High Dam, and we are so fortunate that we have this asset in the city of Oswego, and it's about to pay some dividends that I'm hoping that you guys will approve this. I was just given news last Monday that we applied for a Tier 1 designation for the High Dam, which simply means that we will be able to pay or bill and sell our power at a higher rate. Currently, we are selling it, if you want to use this term, on the wholesale rate. And now that we have a Tier 1 designation, we'll be able to sell it on the retail market. Our city engineer, Hinderleiter, is here, and he could probably explain it a lot better than me, but basically what that means is we will be earning a lot more money for our energy that we are producing and for the RECs. I will tell you, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but since December of last year, I get a monthly report on the amount of money that we earn on energy, and it's over $900,000 that we've earned since December of last year. So once again, energy is a commodity. Currently, it's a commodity that it fluctuates with the market, sort of like the oil market, I suppose, or our gas stations. It goes up, it goes down. But currently, we're on that commodities market, and that varies a great deal. And as I said, having this Tier 1 designation will guarantee us a higher return on the power we're producing. So as you read in this resolution, this is the first step in going towards that Tier 1 designation, where we can put a request for proposal for the sale of the renewable energy credits as well as the generation of the power. I'm open for any questions if you have them for me or for Mr. Hinderleiter.
Anybody have any questions for the mayor? If not, can I entertain a motion, please? Councilor Walton, Councilor Burge.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mayor. Item 3 under authorization. City Engineer Jeffrey Hinderleiter requests authorization for the mayor to sign amendment number 4 with CNS Companies for the Phase 2 final design services in the amount of $128,200 for the beautification and safety improvement Route 48 corridor project. Mr. City Engineer?
So I was here last cycle for us to amend the contract with some overruns, over-unders on the contractor side. We are beyond the original contract date, and so as everybody knows, we still have inspectors out there. We still have the design team that's still responding to issues to get this job closed out. So what this is an amendment to the inspection contract with CNS to see them through the end of the year. We did overshoot this as far as we looked at what could be the worst case scenario for them. So this is a not to exceed dollar value. If we wrap this project up like we're trying to get people off the payroll, which paving should be done this week, that will relieve some of their consultants and testers that they have, and they're going to be able to take the team down to one inspector. That'll slow things down for us. But this is to make CNS whole, to see them through the end of the project. There will be some spring work that they'll have to have someone here for. This includes all of that. So this should be the last amendment to their contract. This covers them for the rest of the project.
Does anyone have any questions? Can I get a motion, please? Councilor Walton, Councilor Burge.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Item 4 under authorization. City Attorney Kevin Caracoli requests authorization for the mayor to execute a 4-year renewal agreement to the East Linear Park Transient Dockage Agreement contract with Broadwell Hospitality Group. Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This agreement has been in effect since 2017, has worked very successfully for the city of Oswego and the Broadwell Hospitality Group, and most importantly, the visitors and boaters to our community who have utilized the East Linear Park dock. This agreement was renewed for a 4-year period that just expired with the 2025 boating season, and really there is no other organization or group that's as capable, set up, and right there to continue this work than the Broadwell Hospitality Group. There are a couple of changes. It's 8 years old. The dockage fee per boat foot is $1. We're asking the council to approve an increase up to $2. Doesn't mean that it's going to go from 1 to 2 immediately, but and I'll let Mr. Broadwell talk about that strategy and some of the costs that they've put into this to make this service available to the community. Also, as a result, the city would be receiving additional revenue for in effect, the license that we're granting for this service. So currently it's $1,000, it'll go up to $1,500, and then $2,000 over the 4-year period of this agreement. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Shane Broadwell, who can talk a little bit more directly on what they've done, what their plans are for the future, and certainly before I leave, I want you to know that Cordino administration fully supports this, and we certainly recommend your favorable consideration to this request.
Councilors, good evening. If you have looked through any changes, really it's a very similar contract than it has been in the past with what we've done. Other than the increase in the fees, it just allowed me to want to touch on a few things. What do we do? For that, we maintain the entire property from the bridge north to our properties at the north end, behind Dockside, I guess, restaurant, if you recognize that. We've got custom, wooden garbage pails throughout. We maintain the trash every day. We clean the parking lots right from the buildings to the waterfront. We cut the grass, weed eat, and everything. There's no need for any of the city public works to maintain that space. Any issue we've ever had, we have reached out, and we've had good communication with them there. The up to $2 is just something giving us the capabilities. In the past, it was the city said, you can only charge $1. At the same time, the city was, at that time, maintaining the west side wall at $1. Now no one's charging anything, nobody's paying attention. Boats come and go on the west wall for free, and we had been forced to stick to one. Why we want to go up to two capabilities? There's a lot of big vessels coming through, and they reach out in advance now, where we secure some space in that parking lot up to 150 feet, and we've had larger other cranes come in and help build the tops on those. So it's a lot of work to help these teams put it back together. It's a lot more than just somebody pulling up to a wall that has zero. No power, no water. My second point of the conversation is in 17, we had about approximately from the bridge to our property, 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet of rentable space. In coming out of winter of 22, 23, we lost about 35 to 40% of that. So behind the Clarion, from the bridge to almost Cayuga, that section of linear walkway has been closed. No idea the future. I've been in touch with where that goes. So I just bring it up to council because, again, this year I did reach out to Code. and even asked them. For Harbor Fest, it's the only week really on that south end of that wall that anybody wants to stay down that far. If you know the river, it swirls around. It's not the most hospitable area. However, we asked them to put up signage along that wall, because you're not supposed to walk on it, then you shouldn't have a boat on the other side of it to charge for it. So we've lost 35% of that 1,000 feet, just to make a point. I'd love to just be more of the conversation about who's doing the engineering and what's taking place down there. Recently, somebody was doing more investigating, diving the east wall. Now there's cones blowing around on the north end, down by Dockside, and the city engineer or city code says it's not the city. So I'd love to be in more conversation about what's taking place on that wall. And honestly, if that's taking place, there needs to be a bigger conversation about what's happened on the south end, if it's undermining and why that area is shut. Somebody really needs to bring that to the forefront. 3 is, you'd be surprised at how slow the canals are. I mean, I've been working at the Clarion now. GS Steamers is in its 30th anniversary, so I've been going to work every day on East First Street to watch the boats pour out through there. It's significant to see the less amount of traffic. So working with canals today, just to give you a comparison, there was a lot of issues upstream last year, but just pleasure vessels were down over 2,000 boats. And you might think that's not a lot, but when you go from 8,600 to below 6,500, that's down 24%. And that's with the canals being open another additional month due to the 200th anniversary. So on our 200th anniversary of canals, so you have to ask yourself why. So my next big conversation is to open up conversations with Mayor Cordino. I've spoke to the Port Authority. Lock 8 is right underneath the bridge. Lock 8 all season was open till 8 o'clock at night, only because they'd allow boats to get off the harbor, to get into a safe, it's like a bathtub in there. You can get in there and secure yourself. In the city of Oswego, Lock 7, Lock 6, and all the way to Minetto, all them locks are closed at 5 p.m. When beyond that, the canal system's open till 10 o'clock at night. So Phoenix, Fulton, wadded up, everybody spends the night there, does their thing waiting for first thing in the morning so they could pass through Oswego and continue on. So I'd asked to work with the mayor, and I've talked to Mr. Snyder in a coordination with the city of Oswego, the State Port Authority. We're all in the marina business now, to open up that so that we can keep our locks open 5, 6, 7, all the way to 10 o'clock at night, all season long. There's no reason for it. And the fact is, it's not about money, they say. It's about they can't get people to work. I've said if you coordinated with the city to put out effort that you need hire people to work for the canals, I'm sure there's efforts that can help make that happen. But I truly think if people who are from the Oswego can see that canal, it has been very, very slow. To have 6,500 pleasure cruise open a month longer the entire season is unbelievable. We believe it's 5 to 10 times lower than it used to be 10 years ago. So just a few things to discuss about what's taking place, because again, I'm in the hospitality business. We have restaurants on the water. If you were just upstream in Fulton and wanted to take a ride to Oswego to check out the sunset and have dinner, you couldn't do it because you'd have to get all the way through 7, 6, and 5 to get back through 5 by 5 p.m. It's not doable. So we're not getting any river traffic to get through our canal system. So I think it may be in a coordinated effort instead of one entity trying to fight to keep against the canals. We can work together to hopefully keep it open. So that was a lot, but I'll answer any questions you have about it.
Questions? No. Questions? Can I get a motion, please? Councilor Walton, Councilor Burge.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Item 5 under authorization. Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, Craig Rebior, requests authorization for the city chamberlain to complete a transfer of funds in the amount of $45,000 from the garage contracted services account to the garage materials and supplies account for fuel. Mr. Cahill?
Yeah, this is just to help with the cost of fuel. Starting December 1st, all three of the major departments are going to be running 24/7, so this will help keep all those vehicles running. Any questions?
Any questions? Comments? Could I get a motion, please? Counselor Walton, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item 6 under authorization. Mayor Robert Corradino requests authorization for the city chamberlain to accept a monetary donation in the amount of $500 from the Pathfinder Bank to be used toward restoring the historic Civil War era cannon's carriage. Mayor?
I think we talked about this before. The cannon that is sitting over here on West First Street, the carriage is basically gone, and it's sitting on the ground. So our clerk's office has taken it upon themselves to try to get this back into somewhat usable fashion for the standpoint that the cannon itself is fine, but the carriage isn't. There's one company in America, I believe they're in North Carolina, that specializes in creating these carriages that will be true to the original nature of what the design was, and it costs approximately $40,000. So several businesses in item number 6 and number 7 have stepped up to help us with the cost on that. Item number 6 is a donation of $500 from Pathfinder, and Constellation is offering $2,000. So we're hoping that other community businesses or entities will help us, but if not, a future council will probably have to authorize the gap funding for this. As you can see, out of $40,000, we have $2,500, so we're a little short. But at this point, I would encourage you to accept these donations on items 6 and 7, and we'll see how this fundraising effort goes for the next few months.
Anybody have any questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Walton, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item 7 under authorization. Mayor Robert Corradino requests authorization for the city chamberlain to accept a monetary donation in the amount of $2,000 from Constellation to be used toward restoring the historic Civil War era cannon's carriage. As the mayor just explained, any questions or comments? Get a motion, please. Counselor Walton, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item 8 under authorization. Director of Information Technology, Steve Coffey, requests authorization for the city chamberlain to complete a transfer of funds in the amount of $20,000 from the computer materials and supplies account to the computer equipment account for a vehicle purchase. Anyone here to speak on this? This was a late addition. Steve Coffey couldn't be here tonight, but he sent us all an email on that. They like to purchase a Ford Maverick because they've been sharing a vehicle with the DPW. And when he needs to move stuff for the IT department, he needs a truck. So he's going to have this all outfitted, just like he said. So does anybody have any questions or comments? Counselor Burridge.
Is this going to be a take-home vehicle, or is it going to be stored here in the city?
That I'm not sure of, but I can get back to you on that. I don't think it would be a take-home vehicle. Pardon me?
I can answer that.
Okay, Mayor?
The IT director, according to the agreement with him, he does take the vehicle home, and he will be taking this one home if you vote for it. But he is on call 24/7, so it makes sense for him to have that vehicle to go and take care of an emergency. If there's some type of drone requirement or an emergency at the fire station, he'll have the vehicle to take care of that.
Thank you for the explanation, Mayor. Any other questions or comments? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item 9 under authorization. Kevin Caracoli, City Attorney, requests an executive session to discuss proposed pending or current litigation. Could I get a motion, please, to come out of council or committee? Counselor Walton? executive session, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Walton. You gotta read the roll.
Yes.